Silence endures. An intermission far too cold to be considered peaceful. Empty and dead. This is how Owen begins to feel. Desperation takes a dreadful toll on one's spirit, especially when the subject is incapable of expressing their feelings, but how can he? This enigma, dark and mysterious, could render anyone speechless, especially the weak or faint of heart.
You seem to have come to an impasse. You looked so cocky before. I didn't expect you to succumb to pressure so easily. It's almost sad.
The enigma faces him, expressionless and stern. Owen closes his eyes, believing himself weak in the being of darkness perspective.
This is how you usually are. Quiet and undecided. Almost as if you were at war with yourself.
It says, before cupping the Wolf Knight's sharp jaws with its obscured hands. Owen opens his eyes and gazes into what he perceives as darkened optical oceans of the coldest white. No pupils, only emptiness, as if the enigma were the walking dead.
You never spoke, because you didn't need to, and you never had to. You cared little for suppositions or finicky behavior as well. You're the type that speaks with action over words, only vocalizing your viewpoint when need be. Just like a wolf, strong, silent, and enduring. And when you bay, it's conveyed passionately and truthfully, whether this truth be saddening or uplifting in nature.
I'm really like that. I don't feel like it, or maybe I've just
forgotten it. That's what happens when realities are founded by egomaniacs. Everyone suffers greatly due to the previous final resolution. Many have been separated, cleaned bone dry of their memories, or are already dead, among other misfortunes. You're another victim, Owen, no better or worse than the next.
I know that, but I remember this touch, this warmth, and what it means. The enigma's eyes widen a little, confessing shock, much too silent to be considered fear. It's more like surprise from hearing affection in Owen's voice. Were the enigma a fool, it would clearly miss the emotion therein, passion, like a distant cry of love. Owen takes the enigma's hands into his own, lowers and cinches them equally at the hip. The way he holds the Enigma's hands, it's as if he were comforting a sweetheart, someone he shares an intimate relationship with. Once upon a time, I wanted to be the alpha male of my group of friends. I called them my pap, he says, provoking a giggle from the Enigma. Owen shares a moment with the being of darkness, though this may be the last of its kind. And then he joins his eyes with the Enigma's to convey his innermost feelings. I was already host to the wolf back then, so I started thinking like it, despite my ignorance towards its existence. My coupling process was so difficult because the wolf knows me better than I know myself. It knows my heart, all of my weaknesses, and that's why it drives me to behave so arrogantly. But not once did I speak. You're absolutely right. In my mind, I was the alpha male, and I still am. My friends respected my strength as much as I respected theirs, though I wasn't the strongest I tried to be, and that made me strange, as you said before. The Enigma closes its eyes and lowers its head, as if it's stumbling upon a mental blockade, perhaps something that swayed its emotions. Gently does it leave its hands from Owen's, though the latter seems to pose a quiet front. Owen tightens his grip a bit, imploring the Enigma in silence. It pauses, responding to Owen's unheard request to keep holding its hands. This pause, however, is momentary and goes unrewarded an additional time. The Enigma leaves his hands from Owen completely, the latter's eyes warm with disappointment.
Professing oneself as an alpha specimen is egomaniacal. One must earn such a title through hands-on activities, not mere proclamations. Besides, the alpha specimen knows humility, so such behavior is unbecoming of his ilk. What the Enigma says is true. Owen hasn't earned the right to call himself an alpha male. An alpha specimen is the most dominant of his numbers in every aspect. It's not a title that can be claimed by word alone. If you wish to hold that title, Owen, earn it with more than just your words. The Enigma says, opening his dead eyes to observe Owen's alpha-worthy actions. Then, Owen fades from the Enigma's sight, an achievable feat for all experienced knights. This psychs the Enigma out, placing it in a vulnerable position. What the? This manner of mock speed, at his level? Unbelievable.
A burst of wind repulses the Enigma to the ground at its left, furthering its vulnerability. This pressure means Owen is exceeding Mach 2 speeds, which is normally achievable once a regalia ascends to its golden form.
The Enigma recovers and looks to the sky to see Owen pursuing him with lusting clawed hands. This aggression forces the Enigma's instincts. It rolls out of harm's way, agilely pushing itself into a desperate crouch. Owen endures, placing the Enigma in various close calls, shaking the initially composed being of darkness. It's unwise to issue demands to a strange bastard like me. I retaliate, aggressively, not holding anything back, because I've something to prove. Just like a wolf out in the cold, no matter the challenge, I'll fight, tooth and nail. The Enigma is inspired by Owen's monologue, which reinforces its defenses, placing them both on equal grounds. Their movements will be virtually untraceable to the naked eye, were it not for the spontaneous explosions happening about the clearing. Devastation follows every blow, the clearing being rendered into a dying forest. Fortunately, I know what killing is. Murder, no matter how you look at it. Owen reflects, mid-battle. The Enigma attempting to capitalize on what it believes is an unfocused mind. However, this isn't the case. It appears Owen is becoming stronger, his conviction welling into godlike dominance. When you take a life, you lose part of yourself. The first kill is always the hardest. All follow-ups are additional scars, but these scars are more than just that. They're proof one has died on the inside, again and again. The more one kills, the more they die, until one can no longer say they're human. As a knight, one must die countless times before they can live. It's a requirement, something I know I'll have to face for a very long time. What scares me the most is that I'm actually prepared to die.
You are prepared to die?
Yes, the one time. The first death. The follow-ups I mentioned, well, I'm not so sure I'll be able to wear all those scars without going insane. No matter how hard the experience, however, I must face it. If I'm ever to earn the right, as you said.
To become an alpha specimen, you mean?
Precisely, my friend. Which is why I must end this. Right now. With awe-inspiring passion, does Owen deliver a decisive clawed strike, his body donning the wolf regalia, in an explosion of shining fireflies. These fireflies, mimicking explosions of silver light, render the Enigma paralyzed from the waist down, confessing Owen's intentions from the very beginning, to disable the Enigma's ability to fight back. So calculated is the Wolf Knight, who lands skillfully upon the ruined clearing of dead flora. This is my proud howling, ascended to better suit the occasion, and to honor a worthy opponent, he declares, laying his sharp eyes upon the grounded Enigma, who eventually regains its ability to stand. Apparently, Owen lessened the force of his attack, meaning he chose a more virtuous method than originally believed. The Enigma stands, though its posture is a bit wobbly, proving that if Owen intended to kill his opponent, the Enigma would already be dead. Such an attack takes skill, patience, and mastery of one's martial art. An alpha male is more than words. You are absolutely correct, and thank you. You've inspired me to push towards a higher power, a certain something that'll do more than just earn me the right. Whoever you are, whatever you are, You have earned my respect.
Good for me, Pisspot. But you still haven't earned the right. Charming display of adolescent superiority on your part. Now, help me stand straight, will you?
I will do you one even better. Here. Owen extends his dominant right hand, which the Enigma accepts, to be pulled up and into Owen's strong arms. The Wolf Knight executed the assist with such ease, one would think the Enigma were lighter than a feather at first glance. His hold, however, is almost fathering in nature, strong, firm, yet empowering. The Enigma's eyes return to their widened state, signifying surprise in the face of an unpredictable force in Owen. Thank you, my friends, for giving me what I needed. You. And nothing more. The Wolf Knight smiles, before he lays a kiss on the Enigma's forehead, provoking a sheepish gasp from the being of darkness. It leans back and looks into Owen's eyes to see the behavior of an alpha male wolf, learning its pack and establishing its rank with strength and firmness, but retaining a gentleness that keeps its team as one unit. An alluring presence that's hypnotizing, if not frightening at first, becoming a stabilizing force with time. It pains me to say this, but I can't stay here. I have a few important things to take care of in the fractured reality. I know it's much to ask of you, but could you be here when I close my eyes? Strange builds like me need people like you to keep them grounded. So don't say this is our last time. I need this. The Enigma's expressions change from surprise to amusement as it hears dependency in Owen's voice. No, not dependency. It's more like yearning and attachment, all bundled and tucked into one heartbreaking corner in Owen's spirit. The Enigma turns away from him, as if it were attempting to hide its expressions from the Wolf Knight.
I am a shadow, nothing more. You don't need me, and you never will. So don't get attached to a dream, asking such childish things. That makes you look simple and weak. No words, only action. Owen takes hold of the Enigma's chin and realigns their eyesight, saying much without saying anything at all. Labeling others should be done eye to eye, not eye to cheek. Doing the latter, or using any other method besides the former, is an immediate contradiction. My, aren't you the sweet one, snatching my eyes to yours, like some psychodramatic lover boy? The Enigma taunts, though its statement does little to sway the Wolf Knight. Owen's eyes remain locked into the Enigma's, glossy with seriousness beyond his years. Such intensity provokes a chance reaction from the Enigma. I mean, you staring at me like a moron. You don't scare me. So, whatever. In a wave of emotion, the Enigma breaks from Owen's hold,
and turns its back to him, once again attempting to hide its emotions from the Wolf Knight. A cold air breezes the dead pasture, trailing some petals in its current. The sky then quickly progresses into a stormy state, perhaps representing the rift that has been placed between Owen and the Enigma. Who are you to label me, my friend? You haven't earned the right to do that. Got to put in work for such things. Let's talk more physical action. Or has that bit escaped your memory already? A smile comes to the Enigma's obscured face as it lowers its head and closes its eyes. Owen has finally reached a level of understanding the Enigma intended for him. To become an alpha specimen, one must ascend beyond common gimmicks and become a leader. It'll take strength, endurance, determination, intelligence, the mastery of many qualities for him to obtain leadership of his pack. To achieve this right and protect his loved ones, Owen is now willing to go beyond the call of duty. I don't care if you're a shadow or not. Be here when I close my eyes, the Wolf Knight commands. Behind the strength of his voice, however, is the gentleness of one who cares. If you don't show up, I'll come and find you. Fine, fine, piss pot. No need to start breathing down my neck. Now, get going. The sky changes just as quickly as it did before. The stormy black parts down the middle in a circling fashion, as a pillar of light consumes the area. The last thing Owen sees of the Enigma before the light becomes dominant is its smile. The light obscures everything, but eventually loses its brilliance, becoming a faint gray, and then pitch blackness. Darkness returns to a faint gray, the light of the moon upon his eyelids. This alone reminds Owen that he was only dreaming, and perhaps, maybe this was nothing more than a sequence of pictures in his head. Despite some doubt, Owen learned valuable lessons from the Enigma. As he opens his eyes, a rejuvenated feeling comes upon him, a full-body sensation that's comforting, empowering, and assuring. He also comes to a realization. When a knight feels this sense of completion, they found success more than once. The same can be said for the otherwise, should a knight be unsuccessful. Owen leaves his bed for his window, where the moon shines vibrantly. It's beautiful, this moon and all its glory. This moment will be a defining one in his pursuit for greatness.